I want to start out by telling you what the issue I had was. So, I developed a leak in my heater core, and because the heater core is such a massive pain to replace on my Dodge Dakota, I decided to try one of the bottles of bars stop leak. I've used it before in other vehicles, never had a problem with it, but I knew there were risks that came with it and decided to take a chance anyway. So I put the stop leak in the vehicle, and immediately, the very next time I drive it, it's running hot. It's actually running so hot that I have to run the heater constantly to keep it from overheating. And even then, when the temperatures got up to around 90, I still would have to pull over on the side of the road. It would just overheat. Nothing I could do about it. So that went on for a couple of weeks. I flushed it all out by just draining the radiator and flushing it out. I made no change whatsoever. I ran 2 bottles of Prestone Radiator Flush through the system. 3 to 6 hours per flush is what they recommend, and I got 3 or 4 hours out of each. Made no difference whatsoever. Not faulting Prestone, it's not designed to flush out stop leak. So I had to go on a mission to find something that would get rid of stop leak. It was that, or I was going to have to replace the radiator, and that wouldn't even include all of the stop leak that's embedded in other places in the engine. And I'd like to keep the engine for a little bit longer. So I did some research. I tried the vinegar method. I'm not going to say I recommend that. I find that that's got to be dangerous. But I did try vinegar on the vehicle. It did help a little bit, but however, the engine would still run hot. So the vinegar method may have helped a little bit. Didn't solve the problem. So my next step was I did some research. I found the product that I'm about to use, and I'm obviously recording the audio for this video. This is a week after I've tested it. After flushing with this, I've had absolutely no problems. The engine is running back to its normal temperature. It's not even running a little bit warm. So this product absolutely works miracles. So let's get to the product I'm talking about and how to use it. Okay, so here's the product I found that ended up working, the ThoroFlush. This stuff it's fairly expensive considering that most flushes are about $2. This stuff's about $20. However, to prepare it, you simply need to get you a gallon jug full of water. You need to drain out a little bit of water, approximately a pint of water from the top of the jug, and then you're going to pour this entire pint into the jug, and it's red. It makes a nice Kool-Aid flavor, as you'll see. So we're going to pour it into the jug. Then we're simply going to mix it very well, and that's about all there is as far as getting the solution prepared. Now the next step after this is going to be you have to drain about the same amount of coolant out of your vehicle. So we've got this poured in here. Let's get this shake it up pretty well, and then we'll be ready to get to the next step of getting some coolant out. Okay, so first step, remove your radiator cap. You're mainly going to do this just so it'll vent the system, so when you're draining the coolant out. I've got a bucket here that can handle a gallon. I'm going to get underneath the vehicle. Of course, every vehicle is different. I'm doing this on a 2005 Dodge Dakota, but most vehicles, on the bottom of the radiator, you can find a little drain cock. I want to point out this one to you, but they're generally pretty easy to find. You're simply going to remove that, and you need to drain out roughly about a gallon of coolant. It's not going to hurt anything if you drain the entire radiator and then pour in this red solution, just so long as you fill it back to the top while you're running the vehicle and it's flushing. So not much to this step. Just going to drain out at least a gallon of coolant. And one very important part I want to mention that I hear people say all the time, not just when they're flushing their system, but anytime they're filling it with coolant and draining it, make sure you put the drain cock back in before you get back to the top, or else you're just going to have a bunch of red Kool-Aid looking stuff pouring out the bottom. So get this drained out, and then I'm going to put the drain cock back in, and then we're going to get the solution poured in there and go from there. Now our last step is going to be to pour this into your radiator. Obviously make sure you put that drain cock valve back in. So you're going to pour this entire gallon into the radiator, and then you're going to run your engine for 10 to 12 minutes. And it warns you, do not run the vehicle for more than 12 minutes or it could damage your system. Apparently this is pretty strong stuff, and based on the results I got, I would have to say it obviously is. It really doesn't have a strong smell or anything, but obviously it's pretty tough to be able to clean out all of that stop leak when Literally nothing else I had tried even made a dent in it. So you're just going to pour this in, run the engine for 10 to 12 minutes, and then you're going to simply drain and flush your cooling system. I'm not going to go into that. If you need to know how to flush your cooling system, I actually have a separate video posted on how to do that. So hope I helped. Thanks, guys.